The Soviets took a 4-2 lead into the second period. They will take a 1-goal deficit into the final frame. Big night so far for defenseman Larry Murphy. He's got his first goal of the tournament and a couple of assists, and it's been the grinders and the bangers, the Sutters, the Howard-Chucks, the Tockets, who have really made the difference so far in this hockey game. Canada coming back with 3 goals, unanswered goals in that second period. Now let's go upstairs to Ron Roos. He has a special guest.
Very special guest, Dan. Red Fisher of the Montreal Gazette, who's been watching world hockey for a long, long time and has been just as excited as all of us over what has been transpiring here at this Canada Cup.
Well, it has been exciting. Certainly, you know, the first 2 games, this game right here, it's 3-0, 8 minutes into the first period. And good heavens, we're all burying Team Canada again, and I include myself in the group, and then suddenly here they come back, and it's 5-4. And this game is not over, Ron. We know that. Everybody out there knows that. It's just been a remarkable series thus far.
Red, you were with it all the way in 1972, so you're from the beginning been watching this sort of thing unfold. We asked this question all over. We've been asking it in corridors and so on. You watched Game 8 back in 1972 in Moscow, and you watched these two. Compare them.
Well, 72, because it was the first, Ron, more emotional. This thing more exciting, I find. You know, the comebacks, one after another, 3 games in a row, 3 comebacks. But emotion won it all in 1972, and I still lean to 72 because of that, but I'll take this anytime. It's just been just great.
I remember back in 1969 we were all at the World Tournament in Stockholm, Sweden, yeah. And you saw some Soviets that year. I remember talking to you during an intermission over there at that particular time, and we asked the question at the time, are there any of these guys that could play in the NHL? You at that time picked out a couple, but it was only a couple.
Well, actually, there were 3, Ron. As a matter of fact, it was an answer later on to a question by Sam Pollock, who was always looking for an edge. When I got back to Canada, he said, can any of these guys play in the National Hockey League? I said, 3, Sam. A guy named Kharlamov, a guy named Yakushev, and a fellow named Maltsev. And I think as things turned out, it wasn't a bad job of scouting. But, of course, Sam didn't go after him, and that's his problem.
This game tonight, it's much different from the first 2 games of this series. I think a little less artistry, a little more banging.
Well, they're certainly banging all right, and for a while I was afraid it was going to get a little bit ugly. When the score was 4-2, the sticks really came up high, and some people started running at each other. But I think now with the score 5-4, I think we may see a little bit more artistry in that 3rd period. And, you know, I don't know if you want overtime. I just as soon have this thing settled in regulation time for a lot of reasons, and one of them starts with my little ticker right here.
You know, they are so close, aren't they? It's very seldom I've seen 2 teams go through an extended series, and this is their 4 games now, dead even like this.
Well, you know, there's 1 goal separating the teams after all this play, and so close. I mean, they are just stuck together. I mean, there's no difference between the 2. One team is going to win on one night, the other team is going to win on another night, and you and I, as we sit here, are probably looking forward to an 8-game series in 1990, and God willing, we'll both be there. And it's just great. I mean, this international hockey is outstanding, but, you know, I think I could use a rest just about now, so I'm kind of looking forward to Hull, Quebec on Friday, and the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Montreal Canadiens, an exhibition game, and let's have a little fun.
Well, it's a different kind of hockey,
That's
Red.
right.
Thanks very much. Red Fisher of the Montreal Gazette joining us up here in the press box level. We'll be rejoining Dan Matheson in a couple of moments. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Surrounded by a lot of fans and people in the prints as well. The differences between the 72, game number 8, and this game here tonight.
Oh, well, if we win it, as I think we're going to now, I suppose you'll make that comparison. But the difference then was we were 8,000 miles from home. We had to win 3 games in a row on their ice, and nobody gave us a chance. And the team kept working and working and working. We lost the first game, blew a 4-1 lead, lost 5-4, and then went 3 in a row by 1 goal, with Henderson getting the winning goal in all 3 games. Tonight, I just can't imagine this game being this good. I thought I'd seen the best game last Friday. Then I saw the best game last Sunday. And now look at tonight. Down 3-0. Not any other team. I don't think any Canadian team would ever quit. But it's an easy reason to quit, down 3-0 after about 8 minutes. And then what do we do?
Can play.
We pick and we pick. But I think the good part about it was, even though they were down 3-0, They knew that the Soviets had only had 4 shots to our 8 or 9. They knew we had chances, and I think they know when Gretzky's out there, Lemieux's out there, Howardchuk's out there, and on and on and on. And Murphy, the no-name players compared to Gretzky and Lemieux. They know that everybody's out there to try, and it's nice that the baggage handlers, as we call them, are carrying the freight tonight for the big boys.
Alan, let's get rid of the fan hat for a while and put organizer hat on. Has Canada Cup 87 been a success?
Tough to get the fan hat off, I'll tell you. Somebody asked me why I run the Canada Cup. Sure, it's for the pension plan. It's to get our best against their best, and this is a perfect series, Canada-Soviet Union. I want our team to win so badly. They've worked so hard, they've given everything, they've given their summers. They don't care about thousands of dollars that they could be risking in their careers. They're playing for their country. I'm doing it for my country and for my team. Sharing the chairman, it's an economic success. Thanks to the people of Hamilton, thanks to the people of Sydney, Nova Scotia, to Halifax, to St. John's, Newfoundland, to Regina, to Calgary, to all of the cities that helped this tournament be a success. From Labatt, Canada Cup, thank you very much. I just want to see the players in the third period win it for Canada. That's why they're playing.
Alan, you couldn't say it any better. Thank you very much. Alan Eagleson, he helps put this little shindig together every 3, 4, or 5 years. When's the next one?
1992.
1992 for sure. 1 goal, Canada leads, but there's 20 minutes of hockey yet to come. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.
Pass the puck here because it's not going to beat anybody. He gets the blue line, looks for Mario Lemieux. The shovel pass to Mario because Mario had a step on the guy, and Canada is all of a sudden in the Soviet end and starting to apply pressure. Mario Lemieux out to Ray Bourque. Ray Bourque going through the middle. Keeps the puck ahead of him. Watch in front of that. Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux can't handle the puck, but draws the penalty and gives Canada power play. And what do they do on that power play? But they get a goal. We're going to have a look right behind the net with Mario Lemieux. This guy has got a big reach. He can't be knocked off the puck. Makarov is not a big player. Lemieux behind the net to Gretzky. Gretzky in his familiar position out to Larry Murphy. One-timer through 2 pairs of legs, and Canada is back in the game at 4-3.
Brad, you were talking about drawing penalties and power plays. This game has had a lot of penalties in it. We've seen a lot of penalties throughout the series, not because it's been a rough series, but because everyone on the ice throughout this entire series is so fast, you have to get a piece of somebody. And if you're not going the same directions they're going, you have to grab them, you have to hook them, you have to interfere. And those are the kinds of penalties we're getting.
It has. You've got the Soviet players skate so well, and the Canadian players also. I think that this is one factor that nobody ever appreciates because these guys are moving so fast they don't have time to make the easy decisions. They got to make quick thinking decisions, and sometimes you're gambling pretty good.
Sometimes the legs are going quicker than the head.
Yeah. But we're going to look right now. The one problem the Czechs and the Soviets have had is the problem behind the net. That is on the goal that Murphy got, the same thing. Now here goes the wrap around. The Canadians have gone to the offense. Watch Doug Crossman make a real heads-up move here. Moves in on the far boards, keeps the puck in, and where does it go? Behind the net to Dale Howardchuk. Dale Howardchuk is almost as good as Wayne Gretzky. I wouldn't say quite, but what does he do? He finds Brent Sutter. Watch him get open at the top of the slot. The one-timer up over Melnikov's shoulder. A great shot. The game is tied. Behind the net just seems to work. The Soviets have trouble with it. We're going to watch Canada attack again. Here's the shot by Howardchuk going wide. He winds up. Melnikov stays back in the net, has trouble hanging the shot. Now watch Sutter coming through, taking Casatone. Boom. The puck's behind the net. There's a little confusion. Dale Howardchuk does an unbelievable job staying with it. The second shot, there it is. There's the lead. It's a lot of confusion behind that net.
Big period for Howardchuk. He set up the tying goal, scored the go-ahead goal. I guess we're more comfortable being up 1, are we, than being down 1?
I don't trust that team we're playing against, believe me. The one thing, Howardchuk got injured that period, and he's going to be an awful sore man, but he came back and got a goal, set up 1. I mean, you just can't believe how well he's playing.
Doug Gilmour was in here after the first period when they were down by 2. He said we have to go a shift at a time, a period at a time. We're not looking that far ahead. What do you think Canada is going to come out thinking in this third period?
Well, I don't think 1 goal is going to be enough to contain the Soviets. They have to think that they've got to go out and attack, but they've got to do it smartly. They can't make bad decisions. The defenseman, if the opening's there, has got to move up and make it a 4-man attack because you know the Soviets are going to do it to Canada.
Canada's up by 1 after 40 minutes of play, but with 20 left, a 1-goal lead is rather slim. Don't go away. This is the Labatt Canada Cup on CTV.